Well, we're back at the car stealership. And why do I call them that? Because if you're in the booth, in the finance booth, sitting right over there, then, and this doesn't have to be like this specific one. I don't know any of these people in this booth, right? So if you're sitting in the booth right over there, and they're starting to tell you about you need to have nitrogen in the tires, and we're doing all this, and they're doing all that, you're getting absolutely screwed. Especially in times like this, where we're looking at these two articles, and everybody's losing their jobs. Everybody's going to have to live off of their savings. And when you hear somebody on the news saying, oh, there's still COVID money around, they're wrong. Then you just have to change the channel because that's just clickbait. There's no more COVID money. People don't even have $20 in in their checking account. Living off a credit card. Car repos are up. Look at, they don't even have room. They hardly have any room to put in any new cars. It's going to be time where they're going to have to stack them. They have to get like an elevator to stack these cars. And when you're going to be thinking about, oh, I got to get a newer one, it's like, nah, don't do it. Not in times like this. Don't let this depreciating asset tear down your whole house of cards, where it's going to be really, really sad, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my apartment, my car's going to get repoed, my credit's going to get dinged, and your future is going to be really, really bad. And times like this that we're in, where everybody's just really in it to win it, where there's tariff wars going on, there's everything else going on. And they're like, oh, we're blaming it on Donald Trump, or we're blaming it on this. This is not Donald Trump. This is us going out and spending money like drunken sailors. This is us giving money to organizations that shouldn't have gotten money. This is us just giving subsidies to places that shouldn't have gotten any. This is not fair market. This has just been crazy money going around from COVID, where people got millions of dollars that should have never gotten 5 cents in the first place. But no, we're starting to see the benefits of normality coming in. Like, hey, you got to work, you got to produce. Because I did a poll the other day in my YouTube channel, and I asked, should federal employees work 20%, work for 40 hours a week? 20% said no. So I don't know if that means that they want to work more or they want to work less, or if those 20% are federal employees and they don't want to work. And it's just absolutely crazy. We as Americans cannot pay for everything. It's just not possible. Because look at these numbers that I've presented in my other videos. If you pay $1 in taxes, 40 goes just towards interest. And if you have a credit card like that, that's a bad credit card. You need to get rid of it. And if that was you, where you're like, oh my gosh, all my money that I'm making, 40% is just going towards interest, and we're not even getting the principal tackled, this is not good. This is not good. You declare bankruptcy. But we as a country can't do all that, right? Because then it will be everything, just the whole world would go kind of crazy, right? And living within our means is just something that Americans just don't like to hear. Because why would you? You got this nice American Express card, you got this new Citi credit card, you got all these fancy credit cards that you can get, and that's how they get you. They'll tell you, oh, look at the bling, look at the bling. You can get a free flight, you get 100,000 credits and doing all this other stuff. It's what they want you to believe, right? And if you can't handle it, it's not good. It's not good. Just like if they'll tell you, if these dealerships during COVID, they told you, oh my gosh, you got to get one. And now all of a sudden, they can't get rid of them. Look at that. There's cars that have been here since I looked at it. It's like 2023. Not this one, but there's other dealerships that still have brand new cars from 2023. And they just can't get rid of them. Why? Because they're overpriced. People cannot pay on a normal wage, cannot pay for cars like that. It's just not possible. Or a very small percentage of people in my area can pay for that. And if you're looking at it, it's like, it's just not, the math just doesn't math up. And now we're looking at all these places around us going up in smoke. We're seeing that Warren Buffett is hoarding so much cash. Guess what they're going to do? So with this induced recession that we're seeing, with this induced, like downturn in the market, what's going to happen is all these inflated asset prices are going to get down to normality, and probably even more, because a lot of people don't have the money and didn't have the money to begin with, so they got to get rid of it. And if they paid $100 for it, their item's going to be worth 10, maybe 20, and everything else is going to collapse, right? Because as one domino falls, most people have all the dominoes fall, and then rich Americans, like the top 1%, will buy up everything. And once you buy up everything, what you can do is you can then drastically increase the price again. And so then we're back at it where even a smaller percentage owns even more. So you got to be aware that, hey, maybe for me and my family, I should not get this brand new Toyota Tundra. Maybe I should get an older one and just use one of that and just be happy with it and be like, you know what, the time I use it is probably better than what I'm gonna do and just get into a shit ton of debt that I can't get out of. If you own your own company and you're making $10, $20, $30,000 a month, then this video is probably not for you, because you can just, you have a huge income, you don't have to really worry about it. But then even those people, they go and they do one bad decision after another one. And then if you then lose your job, you're even in a bigger hole, right? So yeah, in today's world, you got to be looking at your credit cards, looking at your subscriptions, seeing like, hey, is this something that I want to do, or is this not something I want to do? Is this me worth keeping, or is this me not worth keeping? Because not everything is that shiny is gold, right? And not everything that you want, you actually need. And that's why I always say, with these cars, if it depreciates, if it's not a service that makes you better at the end of the day, because just being in a club, a BMW club, I don't know how much that's worth, or being in a Mercedes club, or saying that, hey, I get to drive a Lexus or whatever, it's not worth it at the end of the day, because it just gets you from point A to point B. And if you can't get food on the table because credit cards are maxed out, you can't do it all, it's not good. And at my local grocery store, they had to put in these metal, like, what do you call those? Like almost like barricades, so people can't run out and steal stuff. So they actually had to put in a fence inside the store that you have to walk past the register, because people steal so much. It's like, it's crazy. And I asked her, like, why did you guys do that? It's like, oh, there's been so many, they've been stealing like crazy, so we had to put this in. And it is like, it's just crazy that people are now crazy enough to steal at grocery stores. So yeah, it is just crazy times that we're living in. And yeah, so this was a little shorter video. I'm still recovering from my foot surgery. When I was in Punta Mita, I stepped on a sea urchin that was in my foot, and it just keep hurting and stuff like that. So I had to get it removed. That's why I haven't been posting so much, and that's why I've kind of been walking funny. So I was like, yeah, this one's gonna be a smaller one. I had it on Thursday, so now it's been a few days. So now I'm back, trying to be back walking, try to walk some of the weight off I gained from just sitting on the couch and doing stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Please, if you haven't, like and subscribe. I make videos like this all the time. So yeah, what do you think? Is it gonna get better? Is it gonna get worse? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.